So hopefully you have enjoyed these videos, or maybe you have at least learned something through this course that will help you in your online courses. As promised, I want to provide one last video on sort of a philosophy on how to do online courses. The other videos contained helpful information on technical aspects such as, how to submit discussion postings and how to update your profile, but this will hopefully give you some practical guide on how to be successful in the class, a series of best practices and that sort of thing. So we will look at things like time management, technology requirements, accountability, FaceTime, and your expectations, and these are expectations that you may have of your instructor as well as your instructor's expectations of you. So to get us started, let's look at time. I would encourage you not to make the mistake of assuming that an online course is going to be easier than a traditional course. We go to great lengths to make sure that our online courses cover the same content as a traditional course, and in doing that we have found that it often requires more work from the student. It certainly requires more work from the instructor, and so again, I would encourage you to get in a routine. Say maybe you plan on spending 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock on Monday evenings on your online course. I would encourage you to do that instead of just working on it when you have time, because you will find that you never just have time unless you make time. Plan ahead for things that will distract you, because they will most certainly crop up. Things will happen, and they will be a distraction from your online work. So try to work ahead as much as you can. Unexpected things will happen, and they will cause you to not be able to make your deadlines if you wait until the last minute. One thing that we have found with online courses is that students are almost always at home when they are doing online courses, and of course when you are at home you have perhaps roommates, parents, or maybe even children, pets. You have your favorite show is recorded on the DVR. There are all sorts of distractions at home, and so you don't have those when you are in a classroom. You are a captive audience, you might say, and so keep all of that in mind, and you know yourself better than anyone, and if you have a problem with distractions and self-discipline, then plan for that, because you do not want to set yourself up to fail. Along the lines of time, plan on not hearing back from your instructors immediately. They do not sit at their computer waiting on you to email them. Many of them teach multiple classes. Many of them are, some of the adjunct instructors work full-time on top of teaching, and so they get back to you. We try to turn around emails in 24 hours, but do not get yourself backed into a corner where you have to hear from an instructor right away. Again, try to work ahead if you can. Always give the course due diligence. It is a full college credit course, and we treat it as such, and we expect you to do the same. It is not a pushover course that you'll be able to not participate in and get a desirable grade. We do say that your poor time management and technical problems are not an excuse, and that is part of the reason for this video, is to sort of help you know what to anticipate before you are backed into a corner with a deadline of some sort. Please try to work ahead, and if you run into a problem, you can almost always find the solution faster yourself. But if you do have trouble and need help, always contact your instructor or me, and we will do our best to get you going. I put on here testing appointments with yourself. I would recommend that when you have a test coming up due or a test available, that you set aside time and schedule to take that test. Don't just take it because it's about to expire. You need to schedule your studying and schedule yourself in time to take the test with enough window so that if you do have some type of technical problem or family drama issue come up at the last minute, you still have some time to take the test. Oftentimes students wait until the very last minute, which is usually midnight on the weekend, and then something happens and they can't get to the test or they can't complete it or there's some problem. Well, your instructor is not available at midnight on the weekend, and neither am I, and so there is sometimes some panic that comes with a looming deadline and not being able to get in touch with someone. So again, work ahead, plan ahead, and just know that you're in a real online course that is going to take some real effort and planning from you. Technology requirements. The big thing here is that you will need to find a real computer. With tablets and phones becoming more and more available and capable, students sometimes make the mistake of trying to use something like an iPad to complete their online test or their online course. Well, iPads won't let you download the Respondus Lockdown browser, so you would not be able to test with an iPad. This ties back into giving the course due diligence. You need to have access to a real computer, and if it's not yours, there are multiple computer labs on campus that are free, and you are welcome to use those. So tablets and phones are really helpful for checking grades in Canvas. You can get, as you should have learned in the 290C videos, you can use your phone to get notifications about grades and discussions, but don't plan on typing discussion responses on your phone. You are setting yourself up for failure. Same with testing. Do not plan to take your test on a phone or a tablet, because oftentimes additional software like the Respondus Lockdown browser is required. Just a word of advice that I can offer on web browsers. There are many out there, Internet Explorer, Chrome, Firefox, as well as some others. They all work okay. I have found the best results with Firefox, and I use that almost exclusively, but occasionally something won't work correctly, and I usually find that if I just switch over to a different browser, it does work over there, and I cannot explain that, but that happens. And so you will need to you probably have your own favorite web browser, but I would say please try to be open to trying another one if the one that you like best does not seem to be cooperating. So moving on, I put in this accountability thing because that is something that online students are often lacking because you're an online student and you're not on campus as much. You don't have your instructor holding you accountable as much when you do not show up for class. So one fix, a potential fix, would be to find a partner. You have learned how in Canvas to look up the other students that are in your class, and you can certainly send an email to someone who is perhaps on the same schedule or in some of the same other classes. You can set up study appointments. You can even create study groups in Canvas. You should have learned how to do that in the groups video. You can set up groups and do collaborations and conferences and things all through Canvas. So those are all things that you might have in an in-person class. Try to find those equivalencies in your online class. Hook up with someone who can hold you accountable. Are you studying? Did you take your test? That sort of thing. And I think you will find that to be very helpful. FaceTime, and this ties into the accountability thing. You will not have FaceTime with your instructor. One benefit of taking an in-person class is that if you have a quick question, you can just raise your hand, or maybe you even might just blurt it out in the classroom, and that may be a question that everyone had but no one else was willing to ask. That is lost in an online class, and we realize that, and you need to keep that in mind. So if you have a question, please ask. Get with a study partner, and maybe he has figured it out. So try to develop that community, that student community that is lost, that is often lost with an online class. Another aspect that is lost in online classes is the fact that if an instructor is standing there talking to a group, they can often tell when you get it and when you don't get it. Students make faces when they don't understand, and as teachers we are trained to interpret those expressions and mannerisms to mean, hey, I don't understand, or yes, I do understand. Your instructor does not know in an online class when you don't get it until you perform poorly on the test. So if you cannot find the answer yourself, if you cannot find the answer from your study partner that you have discovered, then you will need to ask your instructor and get the answers to your questions. We really are here to help so that you can be successful. And finally, I say show up at your own risk. Online students sometimes will show up expecting their instructor to be there waiting for them, and that is almost never the case. Your instructor, if they're full-time, they have a teaching load and are almost always in class. They do have office hours, which should be posted in their syllabus or somewhere in their course. So make an appointment. If you feel like you need to meet with your instructor, make an appointment, or at least find out when they're going to be on campus. Students will sometimes show up with questions and plans to meet with their instructor, only to find out that they are teaching on a different campus. Part-time adjunct instructors do not even have offices on campus, and so you really do need to make an appointment to meet with them. Testing. The only advice that I can really offer in testing is please do not wait until the last minute. Students seem to do this consistently. A testing opportunity or window generally will run for 3 days and will expire at midnight on the third day. I generally like to do mine Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, with the test expiring at midnight on Sunday. That provides a weekday and then the full weekend for testing, and that generally works, except that students almost always wait until 11:30 on Sunday to even begin the test. And of course, if they run into some type of technical problem, or if they wanted to be somewhere or get otherwise distracted, then there are problems. And so please, again, just be mindful of all of those things when you are testing online. Expectations. Your instructors, considering all of the other things that we've talked about with accountability and FaceTime, your instructors have gone to great lengths to try to answer your questions before you ask them. That is, they want to be helpful, and they want you to be able to find your answers without getting too frustrated. And so you will almost always find the answers to your questions in the directions. Your instructors provide detailed instructions on what it is they expect you to do. That is actually a requirement of Southern Union. We check and double check behind instructors to make sure courses are clear and are set up in an organized way. And so first read your instructions, and you will almost always find the answer there. Be on time with your assignments. All of the assignments and tests will have some sort of deadline, and your instructor expects you to respect those deadlines. There is enough time to do them, so please do not ask for extensions or whatever, because there really was enough time to do that if you had planned ahead. If for some reason you do find yourself backed into a corner, please do not panic. Do not call your instructor, or don't dig up their cell phone number and call them on the weekend. If there is some emergency, we will work it out. You taking a test right now is not an emergency. If you have some family issue that requires you to be away, then you by all means handle the family issue, and we will work out the testing issue later on. Please do not panic over the course. We can work that out in almost every case. Be honest. This ties into academic integrity. Many of the instructors here have been teaching on a college level for 20 years or more. I can assure you that we have heard every excuse that you can make up. Your best friend is honesty. Tell us what is going on. If you have gotten yourself in a fix, tell us what is going on, and we will do our very best to work with you. If you lie about something or make up some excuse, it will almost never work out in your favor. Again, I think I said before, give the course due diligence. It is a real college course. It's worth credit. We go to great lengths to develop these courses, and we are held accountable by outside bodies. And so if we've done all that work, we expect you to do the same to get the credit for that course. Also, I would encourage you to push your own limits. If you think, for this course example, the CIS 290C, if you think you can do 5 videos a day, I would encourage you to do 6. Push your limits, and I think you will be impressed with what you are capable of. And finally, if you do have some problem with your instructor, or you can't get your instructor, or you can't get me, or if you're just frustrated and you think you need to talk to someone, I would encourage you to respect the chain of command. And I did not put it down here, but I will tell you how that works. If you have any sort of technical problem that your instructor cannot help with, your primary contact is me, and I'll show you my contact information in just a second. If you have some question about your course, your instructor is the final authority in that course. If you have a question that your instructor cannot answer, your instructor has a department chair, and it may be that your instructor is the department chair. Beyond that, there is the academic dean and then the president of the college. But if you have to get those people involved, then something has gone horribly wrong, and we want to avoid that if we can. Please, if you have questions, ask, and I would almost guarantee that we can get you the answer that you need. So, as promised, there's my contact information. Write that number down or that email, and let me know if you have any questions. My office number, room number is there. You can stop by, and I will try to get you going from there. So that's this presentation. I'm not sure how long that took. I think it went over the 3 to 5 minutes that I promised in a previous video. But hopefully, again, you have enjoyed this course, and or at least learned something. And please, again, be sure to stop